In the beginning, there was the 3 estates in France. The first was the clergy who got a lot of land, money from tithes, and didn't have to pay many taxes either. Then there was the second estate, or nobility. They were the decision makers, and they even had more land and could hunt, but you got to be higher up nobility to really get the privilege. Then there was the third estate, or les sans-culottes, and 98% of France. The bourgeois ones had educated and had property and had skill, but all the other 80% were prostitutes and farmers and beggars. All the third estate was the taxpayers and upset about a lot of things because they couldn't afford bread or fell short for tax. Ooh.
Us 80% need to change. The economy was going up, but we had no money. We were in debt, but we still had to pay rent and for food and so many freaking taxes that they'd take up half the allotted time for this part of the script. We couldn't pay it. Like free or like paying was painful.
I mean, I understand the peasants not being involved, but la bourgeoisie and artisans had skill. We were educated and we didn't get a say.
Meanwhile, at my home, Versailles,
I'm sorry, who are you?
I'm Louis,
Well, which one? There are 16 of you. You kings aren't very creative.
the 16th.
Ah, le denier of this Louis. Bummer. 15 was a lot more fun with the 7-year war and fight with Parliament.
Yeah, great. So anyway, I was king at age 23, and all I got was a bunch of financial crap. And a dumb Austrian wife that couldn't even bear me some kids.
He is just jealous of my chevaux. I am queen, and I was too far above these people. They complained about my extravagance, my Austrian interests, and my opposition to reform, and my numerous friends.
No, I'm pretty sure they were lovers, and that you spent a lot of money on Versailles. Quelle extravagance!
Yeah, because you're a witch.
Also, your husband didn't mind. So life was grand except for all the money issues because there was no money because of this failed tax collection and idiotic spending behaviors. Maybe this is why there is a revolution, no? So, it was to the king's dismay that he was forced to call the States General in 1789, which has not been held since 1614.
Dude, it has been 3 weeks and nothing has gotten done. I know, no one listens to us. We should make our own group. Okay, let's call ourselves the National Assembly. What is this? The third estate is trying to gain power. Lock them out of the Estates General at once. So, my friends, we have been locked out of the Estates General, but do not worry. We shall make a constitution to give ourselves the rights we deserve.
The growing support for the National Assembly made the king nervous, very nervous. So he decided to amass troops to kill them all, as any good leader would do.
Did you hear the king is going to kill the National Assembly? He can't do that. They're our voice. We have to do something. To Bastille!
After a long and hard battle and the loss of 98 lives, the garrison surrendered and the attackers proceeded to parade this head around the city. With bad harvests, high bread prices, and economic depression, Paris was in the middle of an economic crisis. These angry women are currently breeding hate in the marketplace.
I can no longer afford crumbs of bread. What do I tell my family?
Tell them that we're going to get them bread if we have to storm the Palace of Versailles itself.
Let's go enlighten King Louis XVI about our suffering. Maybe he's just unaware.
I'll round up a few thousand of us who would be down for this confrontation.
Hey, we're hungry and we want bread to feed our families.
You're dismissed.
So be it. Let's capture Marie Antoinette and force her to wear a peasant garb, or better yet, force her to rewear an outfit.
And though they did not successfully capture the king and queen, they certainly left quite the impression.
Us peasants need to have our voices heard. Let's invade the king's palace.
The king, will seek protection in the Legislative Assembly. We, the Legislative Assembly, are suspending your authority and imprisoning you.
The king was thrown in prison. The National Convention was also created as a new executive body. It found Louis XVI guilty of treason and he was executed in 1798. Max Robespierre emerged as an important radical Jacobean.
There's a lot of inflation and unemployment employment here. So I, Max Robespierre, am using popular press and political clubs to make alliances. People aren't agreeing with me, so I need to show these people who's in charge. I will slaughter and imprison them. It will be the reign of terror, la terreur.
Max and his allies proceeded to kill 40,000 and imprison 300,000 people during this time. The National Convention then voted to arrest Robespierre and sentence him to the death. He was executed along with 100 of his allies in July 1794. So, after all these strife, do you know exactly what French needed? No, not cheese, I wish. A great no later! France needed a great no later!
It is true. Those little pesky men in the directory refused to give power ending the republic and putting the government's force in the hands of the military. I, a young, strapping general, seized power.
Napoleon brought with him a form of government known as absolute authoritarism.
Why, yes, I took the people's expression of their big ideas and I forced France's first dictatorship.
With the Concordat of 1801, he gave French Catholics the freedom to practice their religion and government officials the power to hire bishops and priests on the state payroll.
I also won the affections of peasantry and the middle class, and my ideas followed the principle of equality in law and protection of property.
Then some of the nobility, when he declared Emperor of France.
Why
Yes.
are you telling me my life for me, you large-nosed hamster boy?
Oh.
Hush, quiet. Let me list my accomplishments from now on. I squandered the free speech, defeated Austria and Prussia, making them French allies, and when I grew frustrated that with the help of Great Britain, Spain, and Portugal were evading my power, I took the rational steps and invaded Russia. I successfully took Moscow, but my army soon lost the matches, and boo-hoo, allies abandoned me.
It's okay, Monsieur Bonaparte.
They exiled me to an island.
Long ago, on the island known as Haiti, a different island, which was once most of the profitable colonies France owned, the people started to become enraged on la paz de Dios, was what they said sometimes. The slaves started to revolt in the north, led by none other than Toussaint Overture.
I am sick of the brutality of people on this island. They are barbarians, and we must fight for a liberté.
Full-on warfare broke out in 1791. The fighting was brutal, and the rebels seemed to be winning until...
In 1802, my army started to defeat the fool. We even captured him and sent him to prison back in France.
But then, in a twist of the plot, yellow fever broke out, killing most of Napoleon's men. These allowed the rebels to defeat French forces. In 1804, Toussaint's successor led Haiti to independence. Yay, kind of.